Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Lons versus Randolph Robertson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Lons, you claim that while filming your popular reality TV show, a DNA test determined that the man you believed was your daughter Elite's father was not. After the results came in, you revealed to Elite that her uncle, the defendant, Mr. Randolph, may be her biological father. Ms. Noel, you state that it was devastating to find out that the man you believed was your dad was not, and you now believe that his brother is your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Randolph, you claim that even though both you and your brother had a sexual relationship with Ms. Lons, you do not believe you are her biological father either.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Now, in full disclosure, I must say I know this family. I have counseled this family. So with that said, Ms. Lons, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Tell the court, why is it so important to resolve these issues today?
Well, this happened like 30 years ago, and you know my past has always haunted me no matter what. I'm a recovering drug addict and a lot of more other things. I don't hang on the streets, and I don't run amok with the gang members, and I have not been back to jail. So I learned a lot from it. I could be dead for the things I used to do, but I'm not gonna quit until my daughter and me put closure on who her father is.
I'm very proud of you, because let's be honest, most people know you as Keisha Cole's mother. They think of you and they say, oh, the antics, the drama. But I know you, I've talked to you. You're a mother, you have heart, and you know what, most importantly, you have courage.
And these tears is for her. She still has to live with my mistakes, and I'm here to correct it.
That's what mothers do. Ms. Noel, I want to talk to you.
Yes.
Every little girl wants to know who her biological father is. And so when it was determined that the man you thought was your biological father was not, please explain to the court how that affected you.
I mean, I felt as if I should have never had tried to even take that step. And I had closed up. I closed up with my mom. I also closed up with Vic, which is the guy that originally we, tested. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a bitter thing for me. I used to hide the story, you know what I mean? I didn't want anybody to, like I said, I didn't want to judge my mom, but I didn't want to be judged for it neither. You know what I mean? But there's
when you say you used to hide the story, tell me what you used to do.
I just didn't tell anybody that I didn't know who my biological father was.
You were ashamed of that?
Yes, absolutely.
So, Mr. Randolph, 6 years ago on their reality show, when it was determined that Neffe's father, your brother, was not her biological father.
Right.
And that you could.
No.
You never were made aware of that.
No, until some people called me from around the country and said, Frankie said on national television that their uncle could be her father. And I'm like, what?
At that point, did you reach out to Ms. Lons? Did you reach out to Ms. Noel?
Well, that's my question. Once you heard it, I feel like, why didn't you contact me?
Hold on, let's talk one at a time.
I tried to reach Frankie, but was unsuccessful in doing so.
So you did try to reach out to Ms. Lons?
Because I'm not in the business of trying to hurt children.
When you reached out and you didn't get an answer, what did you do?
I can't believe this. The next thing I know, we're here.
Gave it to God.
Did you ever feel badly about sleeping with your brother's girl?
Hold on, Your Honor, let me say this in my defense in that regard.
Sure.
We had a group that consisted of 7 members. Our popularity and our bad behavior at the time, a lot of things happened.
Sure did.
A lot of things happened, not with just Frankie, but with other people too.
So, Ms. Noel, talk to me about your childhood.
I actually was raised by an amazing family. I was adopted at 3 months, but there's still a part of me that, wanted to know. I didn't find out that I was adopted until I was 11 years old. From the time I was adopted up until 11, you couldn't tell me that this wasn't my family. So I was extremely embarrassed, and after that I lashed out throughout my teenage years.
Excuse
me. You know what I mean? Yes.
First of all, that family that I gave custody to, gave you to, was my family first.
Mm-hmm.
They took care of me before you were born. I didn't want to drag you through my mess.
So
it's the choices and decisions that I made is the reason why the woman that you are today.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Noel, you decided you wanted to find your biological father.
I wanted to find my biological family in general. You know what I mean? I didn't know who my mother was. They didn't keep it from me, but I had never seen Frankie's face. I didn't know who my family was, you know what I mean? So after that, yes, I wanted to know, who my other siblings were. It was deep, it got deep.
You started to believe your sister Neffe's father was your biological father.
When we met, everybody just, constantly said, you guys look so much alike, you guys look so much alike. And I'm like, well, duh, because we're sisters. But none of the other siblings looked as much alike as me and my sister.
Your sister,
yeah, she wanted to know.
Out of sister love, wanted so bad for you and her to have the same father.
Okay, well, it wasn't, and it hurt me more.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Did you ever see your birth certificate? Were you able to look at it and see if there was a man listed, and if so, who that person was?
Well, yeah, about 18 years old, my adopted mother felt that I was old enough, and David Noel was the guy on my birth certificate. And so, we went into a search for that. So I ended up finding the address on him, and I knocked on the door, and I gave him the story, and he told me absolutely not. I only reproduce boys. I have 5 boys, and I don't have girls.
That was mean.
Frankie, he was on the birth certificate.
Yes.
But that's because I was with him while I was carrying him.
He actually told me that he just wanted to do the right thing at the time, which was to sign the birth certificate.
Yeah. And so you basically, and he agreed, you're gonna sign this birth certificate. So she will have
make him sign anything.
He volunteered.
I was gonna put father unknown.
But he said, I want to sign this birth certificate.
Because my mother didn't raise us like that.
And I understood, I didn't hold anything against him. Actually, I respected him more for being honest.
So, Mr. Randolph, do you remember having a relationship with Ms. Lons?
I have a relationship with Ms. Lons. I really do. And it goes back to 1974.
All right.
But the relationship is like this. I'm part of a dance group called the Black Resurgence, who are internationally known for boogaloo and robot and strutting. Her sister and one of the members of our group, her other sister, another member of the group, her and my brother and their friend and I were involved in a relationship. But we had that situation, the group of us, had that situation going on with various sets of girls around the neighborhood.
Oh, say groupies.
When we met Frankie back then, we did what we did. Had I known that it was even suspected that I was the father of any child, I've always stepped up to the plate.
Were you ever even aware she was pregnant?
I know she was pregnant just about every time she was pregnant.
But
that's my brother's girlfriend.
It was your assertion that Ms. Lons was also intimate with other members of the band, and we have another member of your band here today. I'd like to hear from him. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Robertson in the courtroom, please?
Oh, boy.
So let's get this party started.
Hello, sir.
Well, yeah.
Mr. Robertson, thank you for joining us today. We have been here discussing the paternity as it relates to Miss Noel. We've heard testimony from Mr. Randolph, your bandmate. Talked about back in the day that you all had lots of sexual encounters with fans, we'll say that politely, and that perhaps you, Mr. Robertson, and Miss Lons had a sexual encounter or encounters as well. Did you have a sexual relationship with Miss Lons?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
You did. What was the nature of your relationship with her?
We was a group back there and then, back in the day. We were one of the hottest groups on the circuit at that time coming up. And I was one of the guys that...
all the girls wanted.
They used to call me Don Juan, so... it was just a group thing, I never fell in love with none of them. It's just...
So you're basically saying you were having many sexual relationships.
With
You never were in a girlfriend-boyfriend committed
No.
relationship. It wasn't a relationship.
It was never a relationship.
You can't say for certain you did not sleep with Ms. Lons during the window of conception.
No,
You
I
don't
can't
know.
say that. I really can't say that.
If you know you've had a sexual relationship with Ms. Lons, when you see her having children and they are a part of this band, extended family / village, wouldn't a man then say, if I was intimate with her, could this child possibly be mine?
No, I did not think that, ma'am, because back in the day, it was not like that.
I'm serious about this. This is not funny to me.
It's not.
This is not a joke.
Not anymore.
I have a beautiful young woman next to me, 30 years old, that has come here for my help, and she gonna get it. I want some answers.
Okay.
So, Ms. Noel, have you ever heard about Mr. Robertson as a potential?
Never.
Ms. Lons has stood here and basically admitted her mistake.
Never.
This is what I've done. This is what I was doing. You have also said we were very sexually active. I don't understand how little people keep appearing and you don't ever say to yourself, could this child be mine?
If Elite was my child, why didn't somebody say something to me 30 years ago?
Well, how
Because
could
30
I?
years ago, I
Not
didn't
you.
know.
Elite, God
I
bless
don't
your
know.
heart, darling. I wish nothing but the best for you. You look so much like Neferteria and my children till, yes, we really did think Vic was your father, especially because of Frankie and his relationship. But no way under God's green earth that I ever think that she was my child.
I'm just trying to put it in the right perspective to where my daughter won't look at me like I'm trailer park trash.
I know how badly you want the answers. I know that. And I
don't
know
want
how
them
much
bad
you're...
enough to blame it on another man, because at this point to me, it matters. What matters to me is how she feels.
And that's what
Either
matters
way,
to me.
I forgive my mom, you know what I mean? And I'm so thankful that, you know, we have a chance
God.
to build a relationship, but at the end of the day, like, I deserve to know everything.
Yes.
And
It's just that
And-
simple.
And Your Honor,
Ms.
Like, I'm not a child anymore.
I want you to take a moment and I want you to explain to these men and to your mother how living with this pain has affected you.
I mean, I respect you guys for being honest, most importantly, but at the end of the day, you guys have to take some sort of responsibility for your actions. I know it's easy to say, we were children, we were doing this, we were popular, like, okay, I get that part, but like, at some point, like, you have to take responsibility for your actions back then.
And I can see in your eyes that this really is hurtful. This is
Yeah,
hard to
it's
take
not
in.
a joke. I thought that I was over it, but I'm not.
And
you know?
it's caused a wedge between you and your mom.
Big.
Explain.
Our relationship really hasn't been the same since I did the first DNA test. I'm still holding a few grudges, not only against my mother, but whoever my father is. I don't want to be judgmental towards my mother because I know that due to the circumstances and being in the streets and being on drugs, and I don't want to judge her for that. But on another note, I feel like, why do I have to continue to suffer, you know, from the things that happened in the past, the things that I couldn't control then and the things that I can't control now?
You're a beautiful, smart young woman, talented,
Thank you.
but you are a human being.
Yeah,
And you have a right to know
I do.
who your father is.
I do.
And I have answers for you.
Okay.
Jerome, the envelope, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Lons versus Randolph, Robertson, and as to whether Larry Robertson is her biological father, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Robertson, you are not her father. Are you okay, Miss Noel?
I'm fine.
Are you ready for the next result?
Yes.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Lons versus Randolph Robertson, as it pertains to 30-year-old Elite Noel, and as to whether William Ronnie Randolph III is her biological father, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Randolph, you are not her father. I'm very sorry, Miss Noel.
Well, as long as you want to keep looking, we don't look.
Thank you.
That's it. We have managed to get the truth in the present, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy for Ms. Noel because it's about moving forward.
And actually, for my mom to say that, like, she supports my decision and to continue to look, that is something different for us. So I feel like this had to happen so that, you know, me and my mom's relationship can get better. And for her to say that she supports me to continue to do that, that is another step. So I'm proud of my mom.
I want to talk to you a little bit more. You know I'm not done.
I know.
You know I care about this
Okay,
family.
I'll see you later.
So I would like to see Ms. Lons, Ms. Noel, I'd like to see you both in my chambers. Gentlemen, you are excused. Court is adjourned.